Hello, my name is Carl from Steve's North End Mower Shop. At this time, we're going to take some time of yours and try and show you some of the new products that we're offering at Steve's Mower Shop and some of the features and some of the benefits of many times of why you should come out to a shop like ours, Steve's Mower Shop, and purchase or look at new mowers or servicing, whatever it may be. So at this time, I'm going to show you some of the new Gravely line of mowers, or zero turns as is what's catching on the market, is really taking over more so than a lawn tractor, and the benefits outweigh much of a lawn tractor. And I'm going to touch on some of the benefits as we go through the different mowers that we have at Steve's Mower Shop. Okay, here we have the lineup of Gravely zero turns, and these are called the ZTX, and there's a 42 and then there's a 52. Basically they're the same units other than the different size engines and the different size decks. I'm going to get on one of them and show you all the conveniences and the features of what each mower does. But we do have, like I say, a 42 and a 52, and we have from that point on keep on going bigger. So I'm going to get on this mower and show you a lot of the features that really stand out from other zero turn mowers on the market. Here I am sitting on the zero turn of the Gravely lineup, and some of the features that are very nice. The parking brakes are integrated into the handles, so when I bring the handles in, the parking brakes come off. When I flip them out, the brakes go on so that you can get off the mower. We have a foot control to raise and lower the deck. You won't be able to see it, but it actually tells you the height of the cut. As I pull the pin out, what I've done here, it puts it to whatever prescribed height I want to cut at. So that's nice. Also, if you're transporting it, going across the yard or going in your shed, you can push the handle down and it automatically raises and lowers the deck. But it always goes back to the prescribed height that you have already put it at. The controls are on the right-hand side. Everything controls are nice, meaning put the blades in gear, the throttle is over here, the choke is over here. I'm not sure you can see it, but we have a sight line here for the gas. You have a step to raise and lower. If you'll really, as you look around, these are what we call a fabricated deck, meaning there's not a stamp deck, so it's much stronger steel, more durable than many other machines that are out there. We do have a discharge on the right side, and we are in the process of getting a new product for us called a chute blocker. What that will do, many times the zero turns through the grass very far, but it may be in a situation where you won't be able to discharge it both sides of your yard. It throws in the flower beds or too close, so it will be a add-on with a foot control. So you'll be able to go up against your flower beds, close off the chute, and it will stop the grass from blowing out. And then on the open yard, you can release your foot and it will allow it to discharge. That'll be new, and it will be an add-on for on the Gravely line, on the Toro line of mowers that'll be out there. So we hope to get that in within the next month or so. We did order them and we are getting them in, but it's something that can be added to pre-existing mowers that might be out there. So stop on out if that's what your needs are. But I've seen many times how far these mowers discharge the grass, and in a certain situation you don't have the room and it's throwing it into flower beds and stuff like that. So we're excited about that. These do come with headlights on it. When I turn the key on, the lights come on. It's an added feature for in the fall of the year or the spring when the grass is growing and it's getting dark, especially in the fall when you're trying to grind up leaves. This has a storage compartment underneath here that you can lift up, and it allows you to store things right underneath here. It's very accessible. What we're showing right now is the Gravely lineup of, they call them ZTHDs. They're not true commercial, but they are built on a commercial frame. You'll see that they have a 2-inch frame box tubing. As you get around and start looking at different product line, some will use C-channel, so it's not as heavy duty. These are a heavier gauge steel than what we have on our other models that we offer. This would be in a 48-inch cut and a 60-inch cut, and they are powered with a Kawasaki engines. We are an authorized dealer on Kawasaki. We have Honda engines, parts availability. We have also parts availability for Kohler and Briggs & Stratton. So if your needs are for any servicing parts, we will have many in stock. And this is the time of year we'll touch on about serviceability of the engines that are critical because of what we went through last year, was how hot it was and how much grass and dust that was created. This zero turn, again, has a much more robust frame than on the homeowner series. and it is commercial driven. These are serviceable transmissions. They actually have oil filters in the transmissions, so that's something. You'll see that the seats are basically the same as the homeowner series. The height of cut is done with the pin, just like the homeowner series. This has an opening here that you can access underneath here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we've opened up the deck here, and you can just see it's very accessible from underneath for excessive cleaning out, and underneath for the mower deck, for the pulleys and stuff like that. We're going to touch on a little bit about, I'll show you some things about that we do at Steve's Mower Shop to help for servicing when people do bring their units in for servicing, and this is something that you might want to check yourself. But those are the features on a ZT that are not on some of the homeowner series. What we have here is, that one I just showed you was a 48-inch cut. This will be a 60-inch cut. And for the homeowners that maybe have 3 acres or more, that fits their footprint much better than maybe a homeowner series where you have a much bigger deck, faster cutting, a lot stronger frame, and also certain things like the caster wheels. You can see this has been reinforced, wider wheels, anti-scalp wheels in the front. There's a baffle underneath here that helps protect the blades from getting hit and stuff like that. Seats adjustable. And it has, you can't see it in the back, but there's even an engine guard on the back side. So this is a bigger unit, again, meant for somebody that has a bigger yard. As you come out to Steve's Mower Shop, the sales force will go over and help you choose, depending on your terrain and how big of yard might fit your footprint or need of mowers. What we have here is a lineup of the Echo string trimmers. They're called PAS. And what it has is we have a power head, 2 different size engines available, with multiple attachments there. You can start out with a string trimmer, which is what standard you're doing. But then you have a circular saw blade, you have a hedge trimmer, you have multiple different, one is a articulating so it moves, one is straight, you have a chainsaw, you have an extension, you have a blower to add to it, an edger, a blade redefiner, and a bed redefiner, and a tiller. At the very bottom, we have one that we brought in for snow, for paddles or mulch, cleaning up debris. It has been very useful for the homeowner and commercial market, but it gives you many tasks with one engine. Instead of having multiple engines you can put on, and it's very simply done. Loosen up a knob and pull a pin out, and you can put on different accessories. The chainsaw is a great asset with the extension that you don't have to get up on a ladder. The hedge trimmer, the same thing. Brush cutting, maybe you have a fence line that you must clean out, so the saw blade becomes valuable. Like I say, the paddled broom bust, they make a paddled wheel and a broom, but the paddle one works very good for the light snows that we've had this year, and it can be very beneficial. It gets it right down to the bottom so you don't have that residue that's left with a snowblower. So those are the different models that Echo has available, different features on each one, and all the different attachments available. What we have here is a lineup of Echo battery operated string trimmers, handheld blower. There's one on the far right as a handheld blower. Many different battery operated trimmers to choose from. We have one that you can put on, as I just went through some of the PAS. This one you can put some of the attachments from the PAS gas models on there. So it's something to choose on. You can see there's rebates available on the PAS or some of the other trimmers that are available on the battery operated stuff. It's just something that Echo has got involved with, and we are a full line dealer, so we carry it all. Then we get into the backpack blowers. They have different models that we chose certain sizes. So they have the PB 5810, that's the smallest thing, and then from there they just keep on going up in sizes as far as power, meaning how much air they create and how much CFMs they create. Here we have 2 lineups of handheld blowers, and the idea there is one is a smaller, not smaller CC and blower, but then as you jump up to the next model, actually that's the smaller one, and then the one I'm pointing to here is the larger one. This one will gain you a more durable engine, a little bit more CFMs, so it's a much more powerful unit in the handheld blowers. The same thing applies with the backpack. As you go, it depends on how much, as a homeowner or commercial, you're trying to get into. So it's sort of like bigger, better, the best. And this one here is the best. This is like a real high-end backpack blower. It's got some features such as little springs, so it isolates the vibration off your back. It is great for light snows. I've used it this year to blow off the driveways. And that's another feature you can do with backpack blowers. Instead of going out and shoveling, you can use a blower to blow off the leaves, or the leaves naturally, but the snow. Even the handheld blowers, depending on how deep the snow was, they work real well to clean off driveways or sidewalks instead of getting out to shovel. So it's something to consider. Out here we have handheld as our hedge trimmers. We do have a battery operated hedge trimmer. It's kind of tucked in behind there. So there's different model hedge trimmers that are available. I know it's real early in the year, but come around May and June, it's something to consider what you're looking for. And we do offer the whole line of Echo hedge trimmers, all the different backpack blowers and battery operated products that are available. Here we have the lineup of the Toro Z mowers, and these are called time cutters. And they're tried to be, what they have here is the same thing. When you flip the arms out, the brakes go on. The height of cut is done here. It's done with a lever. This is a speed selector, meaning that if I put it to the turtle, it goes slower. Even though I have the handles all the way down, it controls my ground speed. And it can be useful when you're trimming, and then when you get on the open yard, you flip it to the rabbit control. And it's just something that Toro integrated into their unit. They have the seat. You're using a Briggs & Stratton. Now we bring it in with a fabricated deck. So as you look around, there is some models out there that may have a stamp deck and it'll be less expensive. We also brought in a twin cylinder. Twin cylinders do produce more torque, they're quieter, and I think they're more efficient in gas. I know it's not a big deal, but they're much quieter and less vibration. So we chose at Steve's Mower Shop to stay with the twin cylinders on all the things that we sell instead of a single cylinder. And it's just more efficient as far as power goes. The torque it creates less, I think it's a less noise because of the twin cylinder engines. It's a very nice and robust deck. You can see that it's fabricated. This will also have the chute blocker available for it, just like we did on the Gravely side. So that's something that's coming at Steve's Mower Shop. Something to think about if you're even on other mowers that you may have. There'll be accessories for other mowers, so stop out. It's coming within a couple months from now. I'm real excited because, again, like I say, many times when you run a mower, you'll see that they throw it so far, and you may have a situation where you can't get between flower beds and other shrubbery, and it throws it too far or out into the driveway or out into the yard, sidewalk or driveway. So something to come out and check out with Steve's Mower Shop. What we have here is an Echo spreader, salt spreader, fertilizer spreader, something we brought in. It's been very accepted by the commercial people. There's a little flapper that controls how far it'll throw it to the one side. So it's something that we do stock at Steve's Mower Shop. It's very competitive price, so stop out. Maybe it's something that you need to help with your fertilization or salt spreading. We have a little tiller, and it is built by Echo. It looks a lot like some of the others, and the tines are very nice because they really travel at a high speed. It's using the Echo engine. It is something that we think is good for the raised flower beds, something that you can pick up, you can move around. It is very good, very maneuverable, not something that is so heavy and not be able to get into like around your flower beds or the raised beds that are very popular today at this area. What I'm sitting on is the new Toro. It's not new, I shouldn't say it that way, but it has been redesigned, and it is the MyRide system. The MyRide does what I do. It actually gives you a suspension. It has shock absorbers, so on a zero turn, they can be a little bit more bumpier because of the ground speed, the smaller the tires. So they've incorporated a MyRide. As you sit on it, it allows your ride to be much more cushioned. They have shock absorbers here and back here. They still have a foot control to raise and lower, so when I pull the pin, I can change the height of the cut. That is a very nice feature. You can change it on the go, you can just raise and lower it, but it also shows me how high I'm cutting the grass at. Each one is a 1/2 inch increment, so that allows you to change your height of cut maybe from the front yard to the backyard, or you're mowing a field that you only cut once a year, so you can raise it way up here and it's higher up so you don't have as much. But it also allows you to go over uneven ground. If you have a stump or a root, you can just push your foot on the pedal. The controls are on the right-hand side. Again, the blade engagement, your choke, and your throttle are all on the right-hand side, so it's much easier. I think it's much more convenient. It is powered with a Kawasaki engine. Again, this is a fabricated deck. We touch on fabricated decks because they are much stronger than some of those stamp decks, so it's much more robust. So if you hit something, its chances of bending are much less likely to happen. So that's something you can see. Again, I can't show you here, but the gas tank is on the left-hand side, very accessible, easy to fill and stuff like that. Has a nice high back seat, so that's something to consider when you're looking at different mowers. And the warranty, we'll touch on different manufacturers have different warranty, but we do all warranty at Steve's Mower Shop. So that is something, and warranty always stipulates material defect and workmanship. We'll get into a segment a little bit later about maintenance and gas today. So it is important to understand if the mowers have issues with gas that sit a long time, they call it phase separation. So consider that, but that's not considered warranty. We see that a lot in snow blowers and trimmers that have been sitting a long time. What we have here is called the Time Cutter also, but this is the Max series. This has been redesigned this year, and it has, again, a 50-inch deck, but it has totally wider tires than it did before, a much higher back seat. It still incorporates the parking brakes into the handles. It still has the foot control with the pedal or the lever to pull out the pins and stuff like that to give you different heights of cuts. Accessibility underneath here, you can lift up the tray and it makes it accessible so that you can access to clean it out, opens up real nice and stuff like that so that you can clean out any debris so it's not laying in there. Again, for the older people, maybe they'll bring back, but they brought back the Toro Bull. And it's been incorporated in Toro. When I first started in this industry, that was their logo, the Toro Bull. And they have brought it back, and it's kind of nostalgic, but I think it's kind of neat that they brought back the Toro Bull in their lineup of mowers and showing how it was something that went way back in the history of Toro. At this time, I'm going to take a little bit of time maybe to talk about, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and servicing of mowers, things to look for, things to be aware of. And because of the summer that we had last year that was drier, some of the things to look at is air filters. These are just some of the samples of air filters that I have taken out of mowers. This one here, as you can see, is completely plugged shut. That is not unnormal because we had part of the season was so dry, and mowers create a lot of dust when they're going around mowing up leaves and stuff like that. And it makes it so that the engine can't breathe properly. And these are just some of them. This one here, you probably can't figure, but it was oil soaked. That can be a person that overfilled it or tipped it improperly. When you tip over mowers, there's a specific way of tipping them. The air filter should be taken out. But if this engine can't breathe, it creates issues with spark plugs. These are two plugs and they're very hard to see, but they're black. That indicates a rich mixture, so that would be telling me that these can't breathe properly. These are very common, what I see with these air filters, and when they don't breathe properly, the engine doesn't combust properly, hence it will cause the engine not to start. They will foul the plugs out. This is a good running plug. It's a very tan looking color. That is telling me that the engine is performing up to its expectations. Some of the other things that, as you look at mowers, this is an example of what I took off a mower. The engine has started up and the blade was bent. The mower vibrated excessively. And then what you're looking for is maybe bent crankshafts when hitting obstacles. This came off of a riding mower. And again, it's a little bit hard, but what we'll do at Steve's Mower Shop, we will take them and lay them together, and they should the profile should be all three the same. On rotary mowers, it's more of an observation on how they ride on the deck. But this one here actually is bent down. What does that cause? It can cause pulleys such as this one. It's going to be a little hard to tell, but when we spin it, it doesn't want to spin freely, and it also makes noises. When you start up the mower, you can actually hear it whirring. This one here is another one. Again, it stops, and it doesn't roll freely when you take off the belt. And that's something that at Steve's Mower Shop, we'll take the belt off and spin each pulley individually and different spindles, so that making sure that the decks are in good running order so that you don't have failures that can lead to damage to the belts. I don't have a belt as an example, but you'll see where the belts are cracking because there's resistance on here. So these are some of the things as you do your own service work that you should look at. Also in the oil industry for lawnmowers, they want zinc in the oil. This says right there, it has zinc in it. We use zinc in air-cooled engines. We do use, most of our engines will use 10W30 oil for summertime use. There is some other oils that we're using with the bigger block engines. Kawasaki and Briggs use some heavier oil than 10W30. Wintertime, then it usually is 5W30. But check around, but you can find out that zinc is necessary, something that the small engine people, air-cooled engines, want in their oil because of our hotter running temperatures than what cars do. So those are the things to look at as far as helpful hints when you're looking at your own mower. Air filters is something, the oil, the gas today is real important that you don't store gas more than 30 days. That is a big factor. You want to use a fuel stabilizer. But if you have gas that has been from last year, it may help you to get rid of that, dispose of it, and come out with fresh gas for the spring of the season. One more little thing that I've seen when we get chainsaws in here, some of the consumers not proper etiquette about how to change with chainsaws. This one here, you take a thin putty knife and you'll find out that this has a lot of built-up sawdust. That allows the oiler to work better if you clean that out. So you should do both sides, and you should also flip the bar. If it's right in on here, you want to, just like you do rotation of tires, you want to flip the bar, but you can see how much debris is built up in here. And what I'm doing is cleaning out the bar, and that allows more oil to migrate out to help lubricate the chain. So it's something that, again, is done at Steve's Mower Shop. We take the bar and chain off when we sharpen them and flip it back and forth so you get equal wear on the bar and chain of a saw. So hopefully these are helpful tips that will help prolong your life of your lawnmower or chainsaw and stuff like that. What we have here is Toro's Time Master that we've carried for multiple years. It's a 30-inch cut. It's a multiple task machine, meaning it has a bagger on it, it has a mulching, and it has a side discharge. It has a very robust engine on it. It has a much wider cut. Naturally, I just said 30 inches. Height of cut is done on one lever does the front wheels, one lever does the back. It has another feature that when you start the engine up, the blades do not go around until you pull this blue lever back. Now the blades engage. What's the benefit of that? It is so that you could go from point A to point B without mowing grass, or if you're bagging, you can empty it at a specific spot without the blades going around. But if you release on here, the blades stop, but you still have what they call the personal pace. New for this year, they added a grab bar so that it allows you stationary when you're going up a hill or put it against, it's a stationary point, so it's called personal pace, but it gives you a sensitivity when you're going across the open yard. But again, the nice feature is you start the engine up, you pull this back. Now to make it drive, you squeeze this down, and the further down you go, the faster you travel. You can squeeze against here to give you better control as you're going across the yard. But again, it comes off the bag. It does come off and make it into a mulching mower. You can flip this handle up by just pulling the blue lever back. It goes vertical for storage, and if I want to, I can go completely over for storage, or if you're taking it from point A to point B. So it's got multiple features on it. It's a great mower. We do carry it in stock. Again, I show different models, different things. What we have here is an Echo, and this is called the Shred and Vac. It can be converted from a blower into a vacuum, and it has attachments. This is a model that comes the way with the bagger and the tube on the bottom, so that you can convert it from a blower, handheld blower, or if you got situations around the house that you don't want to blow it around, you just want to pick it up. It actually has a tube that picks up the leaves. You hang this over your shoulder, and you don't have to be blowing them all, scattering them all over the yard. So it's something that we carry at Steve's Mower Shop called a Shred and Vac. Here we have a different lineup of chainsaws. Again, different models, different length bars, different power. So anything that you may have a need for, I think we can fit the proper need for what you're looking for. We have many accessories. We carry the line of chain. We carry chain for other model saws. This is just a nice little saw that we did bring in. It's a climbing saw, but it can be used for the homeowner. And the idea is it's very light, very compact. It comes, there's different earmuffs. We have a headset for those that don't want to wear safety glasses. We carry that in stock. We do have a battery operated chainsaw that's out here for those that maybe just do so little cutting and don't want to be messing with the gas, meaning having gas sitting around for long periods of time and then they don't start. A lot of the failure today, like we touched on, is gas related with the trimmer market because of old gas sitting around. So that's something that we have at Steve's Mower Shop, offering in the chainsaw lineup. We have a whole line of trimmers. There is many model trimmers. This is our most popular. This is a straight shaft SRM 225. Check on out, stop out on our website. Or so. This model will be on sale in the next coming months. But each model, as you go up, has different attachments. This is part of the PAS that we touched on earlier. These are just bigger SRM 2620, and this is an SRM 3020. Again, it has to do with bigger motors, bigger in the sense of more power, bigger motors, more rubber isolators in here, so that it shows different models that we do stock at Steve's Mower Shop. We have the speed feed on all of these. Again, if you stop out, we'll gladly go over, but the speed feed is a type of head. You don't have to take the line apart or the head apart to feed the line. You just slide it in and wind it in. The sales force here at Steve's Mower Shop will gladly go over it and touch on that. We have the accessories. We carry all the Echo line. There's two different types of line that they have out here. This is called the Black Diamond. This is called Crossfire. Again, it has different features that will benefit the consumer. That's what that has. We can put on we have different size trimmer heads available as far as going out there. We have generator. I know in the last couple of weeks there was power outages with the wind and stuff like that. We did sell a few generators. We do have them in stock, different models, different sizes, so that's something that Echo does provide for the consumer. What we have here is a Gravely stand-on, and the stand-on market is being much more coming into the market. It takes the place of a ride-on because you can stand on it, as it says. You can see over top of what you're going. Maybe more to the commercial market. Some homeowners like it. The advantage is it's much more compact. So if you are putting it on a trailer, it gives you that. They have the ability for height of cut is done here with a lever. This is a 52-inch deck. The other thing that on the Gravely side, we can actually flip this up. So if you're really mowing hillside mowing, you can flip the stand-on part up in the air and you can walk across the yard. So if it's really steep inclines. They are basically the same as a rider, but it is more compact. And that's something that we offer. This has safety controls, so if you do fall off of it, it shuts the engine off, but it has been very well accepted. The commercial market has taken it a lot by storm by this, but then there is some homeowners that are starting to see the benefits of a stand-on versus a ride-on type. What we have here is the Toro Personal Pace, as they call it. There is a variety of models that are available. This one here that I'm standing behind is a simple, what we call the Personal Pace, and it has, again, bagging features on it. It has mulching features on it. You just flip this lever over, you take off the bag, and it becomes a mulching mower. You can put the bag back on if you want it, and again, it goes from bagging to mulching by moving the blue lever down that way. This one here is a stow, meaning I can flip it over, flip the handles. These handles come forward, and I can flip the handle over, but I can stand the mower up on end. So this is nice on this particular model. We chose to bring this one in instead of a model that doesn't offer that feature because it can help in storage of the mower. This has a handle that has been curved, and that's new for the last 2 years. It allows smoother control, so as you slide this down, it walks faster. That's hence why they call it Personal Pace. What we have a lineup of Toros, we have a model that's just strictly a push mower. You propel it yourself, so it's just push. This is a downsized model. This will be a 20-inch cut instead of 22, and it's a single speed. So when I squeeze the lever, you just squeeze it and it goes. Again, a better opening price point, and the bottom one is the same mower we just explained, but it adds electric start to it. So that's a very nice feature. If somebody has a shoulder injury or somebody's limited on how much they can, but they can still walk behind it, you just push the button and it will start the engine for you. That's why they call with the push button, and it just spins the engine over, but it still has a recoil backup. Something to consider at Steve's Mower Shop, we do offer some financing available. Some of the bigger machines that are out there will have 0% financing. You'll see it streaming across the bottom of the screen that we offer certain programs where there's financing for the bigger units at Steve's Mower Shop. Here we just went through the mowers, and I will tell you, as you look around, Toro is one of the leading in the rotary mower industry because there is many models are no longer being sold anymore. So stop out. We do assemble them. We do gas and oil. On the riders, we do deliver within a small radius of the shop without any charge. So that's something to consider when you're looking at mowers. And again, touching on warranty, we do all the warranty in the house, in shop. So warranty by a trained technicians that are available at Steve's Mower Shop. So something, if you have any questions, stop out or call us at Steve's Mower Shop. Hopefully this has been enlightening, and hopefully you'll learn some stuff about mowers in the lawn garden industry. What we have here is two different models of the Toro lineup, and this is a upgrade from what the Homeowner Series is in the shop. This is the Titan. This is newly designed. It has some of the features of the Toro Time Master Max, but it is much more. If you look here, it's like an I-beam suspension across the front end. It is much heavier built than the Homeowner Series, a heavier great gauge deck. You'll still have the integrated parking brakes on this particular model. The raise and lowering is done with the pin on the side with the foot control. The Kawasaki engine, just a bigger Kawasaki engine than what some of the others are. This is a 24 horsepower, but it has filters on the transmissions. These are things that as you go looking around, you need to understand in different warranties. Each model has its own warranty. So I have to be careful, and I'm not saying because each model, as you go up, like this model over here, commercial, has a much longer warranty and has hour rated on it. So again, it still has the features where you change the height of cut, but it has a foot control. This has a suspension seat on it. You can see, again, the box tubing frame that we talked about and how the rollers in the front. This has the ROPS on it, and that makes it full commercial, meaning when you stand this up on end, there's a roller protection, has a seat belt on it. This is different models. They have different choices in this model to choose from. It has little side pockets to put stuff into. It is really a well-built machine. We've done real well with them. This is something that we at Steve's Mower Shop, on the commercial line or bigger homeowners, somebody that really has maybe 5 acres or more, they'll really enjoy mowing the grass with one of these mowers because of the suspension seat, the armrest, so that really makes you feel nuzzled and cushioned in there. So something to consider when you're looking at different mowers out there in this market today. So again, Toro offers many models. Gravely has many models to choose from. Everything is assembled. We'll explain, we'll deliver them, explain how to use them, how to maintain them when we do it at Steve's Mower Shop compared to other facilities that may not have all those benefits.